The Syro-Malabar Catholic Church has extended full support to the ongoing Special Intensive Revision or SIR of the electoral rules in the state, even as both the ruling LDF and the opposition UDF are preparing to challenge the exercise in court. On Wednesday, an all-party meeting chaired by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan strongly criticized the SIR. But in a contrasting stand, the church has urged its members to cooperate with officers carrying out the door-to-door verification. The church's position gains added significance as it comes just a day after Major Archbishop Mar Raphael Thatil met Prime Minister Modi in New Delhi. In a letter, Church Public Affairs Committee Secretary Father James asked the faithful to welcome booth-level officers visiting their homes and to keep all the necessary documents ready. I beg your pardon. Also advised Indian citizens living abroad to complete the process online or through relatives. That the BLOs are present to help citizens and suggested that people collect their contact details to clarify doubts. Meanwhile, in the all-party meeting conducted online, both LDF and UDF said that SIR should be challenged legally. PM will now seek legal opinion. The Congress said that it is ready to be a party to the case if the state takes the lead. So let's understand what is really going on in Kerala. Why is it the Syro-Malabar Church saying yes to SIR even as all the parties in Kerala are strongly opposed to this? Let me now go across to Nirmal Abraham, who's a political analyst, and Colonel S. Tinney, retired. He's a spokesperson for the Kerala BJP. Namaskaram to both of you, and thank you so much for making the time. Let me come to Nirmal first. Nirmal, what is the reason? Because you see, one reason that comes to my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that there have been a lot of incursions from neighboring countries into what are called as Christian strongholds and church strongholds in Kerala. And they are very, very fed up because they think that these immigrants are changing the demography of those particular locales. But what is your reason? Why do you think the church is actually backing SIR?
Right. I know people like making the argument that the church is either worried about the scrutiny that might go on with the NGOs and other Christian Syro-Malabar institutions, or that the fact that they're upset with them being the least prioritized minority among the left as well as the Congress. I don't think that's the reason in this case. In this case, it seems more genuine because, as you rightly said, a lot of emigration and immigration has happened, at least in the last 5-6 years. It has been very intense. Number one, a lot of Christians, if you look at the proportion of Christians, Hindus and Muslims, in proportion to that population, higher number of Christians have moved out of Kerala to work and study. A lot of Christians came back after COVID. In fact, the CDS did a study where it was mentioned that close to 15 lakh people came back to Kerala, out of which nearly 3 lakh stayed. We would love to know how many Christians are there in that list. We would love to know how many Christians have moved out to study and work. And the only basic reason that I see in this case is that the church just wants to ensure that these numbers are not overrepresented. Whatever comes to the deletion pool, they just want to make sure that it's not overrepresented, because even as of today, their biggest concern is that as an electoral as an electoral group, they're not being considered well enough. Their demands are not being heard well enough. So from 16.9%, they don't want additional deletions. They just want to make sure that everything is reconciled so that the numbers reflect accurately.
I understand that if the numbers go down, I mean, there are several repercussions to it. But I don't think that it is only about economy. It is not just about the numbers game. There is also a religious, I think angle, correct me if I'm wrong to this. The insecurity is largely that when you're taken over by someone else, it's pretty much like what certain Hindu groups feel about the minorities, that if they increase, then what happens to us so far as strength is concerned? I'll come back to you. Colonel Tinney, thank you so much for making the time, sir. What do you think is the reason for the church to have accepted SIR? Is it the meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi which happened 2 days ago? Is it insecurity about others taking over their bastions? What do you think is the reason, sir?
Ma'am, I think first and foremost, there's a general consensus amongst large section of people, especially in Kerala, that this special intensive revision has to be done. It is because first and foremost, it's a constitutional mandate of the Election Commission to carry out an intensive revision of the electoral roll, which has not been done since many years. So that is the first thing. So I think in that sense, Malabar always has stood with the constitutional mandates of the nation, and that is one of the reasons that they don't find anything unconstitutional or something wrong, illegal
No.
in
Colonel
supporting
Dinny,
something.
let me also come in here, and sorry to interrupt you in this fashion, Colonel. But the thing is that, why Spinnerai and also Sadishan, all of them opposing this? I mean, they are the two parties, if you look at it, they take the constitution like it's the holy book around. Why do you think? Are you calling them that they do not adhere to the constitution? Why are they going to the court? Why is it that the Bihar example is put forth? Why is Tamil Nadu and Stalin saying that no, we will not adhere? What is the reason? If they, the Syro-Malabar Church, they adhere to the constitution, very good, sir. Are you saying that the others don't?
Ma'am, see, as regards Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan and Mr. V.D. Satishan, why, and of course, what is happening with the DMK in Tamil Nadu, those are pure politics. That is the reason why they are opposing something as a constitutional mandate as the special intensive revision. Now, yesterday, Mr. Rahul Gandhi had come on stage, and he had given a big presentation on how illegal votes were added. Now, the same Congress today opposes that there should be no revision of the electoral rolls, and special intensive revision should not be done. So I think there is a question of double standards there. You have to stick to one point. Either you say that there are illegal votes which has been added, or you should say that we support the special intensive revision.
Don't hold a brief for any party. I'm a journalist, much like you are an army man, and you don't hold a brief for anyone, a particular religion.
I'm presently the state spokesperson of the BJP. I'm retired, so of course
but as an army, when you wore a uniform, I meant that. I will only see you as a colonel, Colonel Dinny. The thing is that I don't hold, but the point is that it's not that they said that there should not be SIR, but are we doing SIR in the right fashion in Bihar? It was very ad hoc. It was in a very haphazard manner. The BLOs went around. If you did not have the papers, they took their own call asking neighbors if Nirmal lived here, for instance, if it's Nirmal. So it's not about the madness, it's about the method to the madness, which was very erroneous. Let me come back to you. Nirmal, I'm coming to you now. I've seen a lot of statements from the church. The church is a very influential, outfit or, element of Kerala. I mean, we've seen them during Virinyam. We all saw that. We did many stories when Virinyam happened. But I want to ask you, Nirmal, but there are lots of cases where they've spoken about love jihad. And they said that men from that community ensnare girls from our community and take. So, just to say that demographic change, of course, which is very disturbing, that's very simplistic, isn't it? It has to be a religious angle to it, Nirmal.
Well, religious angle, the only angle that I see is about migrant workers coming into Kerala. For instance, there are many migrant workers from the north and the northeast that have migrated to Kerala, that live here, people who live here and work here. And I think the church wants to make sure that there is accountability, that no undeserving vote goes in, whether it's a different religion or not. And again, in their case, they want to make sure that none of the deserving votes go out. So I don't feel in this case. I mean, I've spoken about the church in opposing the church, in fact, in many other cases. But in this case, I don't see their intention to be ingenuine. I really feel that it's genuine. They just want to make sure that whoever is related is not overrepresented as far as Christians are concerned, and the people coming in from other states as well as other countries. We've had instances where we found people from Nepal. There are people from Nepal who live in Kerala. There are people from Bangladesh. So maybe the church doesn't want them. I don't think it's a religious thing in this particular aspect. I feel it's more like an ethnic thing. They just want to make sure that their group is represented well, and other groups who do not deserve a vote is not represented or overrepresented. Sorry.
Very well put, Nirmal, but I find it very hard to kind of take this at face value, because the church also has a very strong political influence. I mean, you cannot gainsay that. We've all seen several elections, and the church is very important in Kerala. Colonel Dinny, do you think, again, playing the devil's advocate. Do you think it would have been the same if people from, let's say, Christianity, I mean, their faith were there and come from other countries? Is it perhaps because these Bangladeshis belong to a particular religion that they want SIR and they want them out?
I don't think so, ma'am. I think I kind of agree with what my friend Nirmal has said, that it is nothing to do with a religious aspect per se. Now, but there are some ground realities in Kerala which we all should know. For example, just a few days back, about 3 to 4 days back, we had a report in which 50 lakh Aadhaar cards were fake in Kerala. You know,
Yes.
out of about 3 crore plus of population, 50 lakhs were found having fake Aadhaar cards. Now, any terror-related incident will always find some connection towards in Kerala. Any person who is hiding now, for example, Assam police had come here to arrest certain militants who were, you know, they were looking.
All right.
And they had come all the way to. So I think Kerala has an issue, and that is why there is a general sense of insecurity,
All
which
right.
is there, and that is not only because of, you know, there are and last point, man, the maximum number of PFI people who were arrested were from Kerala. The maximum number of people who had gone abroad for various terror-related incidents are from Kerala.
Well, I think
So there is an
Pinarayi,
issue.
yeah, there is an
There is
issue
an
maybe, but Pinarayi ain't listening, and Sadishan also. But let us see where this goes.